and false practices in some textbooks. The Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, says it is gladdening that NERDC has reinstated the CRK and IRK in the nation's schools curriculum as separate subjects. The president of CAN, Samson Okunu, calls on the Federal Ministry of Education to review all the textbooks that are currently being used in schools. The CAN president urges state governments to recruit teachers for both the CRK and IRK, especially in the north where most of the states had no teachers for the subjects. The Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, has drawn the attention of the federal government to what it described as ungodly practices in some textbooks. CAN made the observation when it lauded the federal government's intervention in reinstating the Christian religious knowledge and the Islamic religious knowledge in the nation's schools curriculum as separate subjects. The president of CAN, Samson Okunu, commended the government's directive to the Nigerian Educational Research and Development Council, NERDC, to restore the subjects which was merged and put under civic education. The news agency of Nigeria, NAN, reports. The CAN president said in a statement in Abuja on Saturday, July 22, that it was gladdening that NERDC had reinstated the subjects. Okunu, however, called on the Federal Ministry of Education to review all the textbooks that are currently being used in schools, adding that some of them encourage ungodly practices like stimulating the reproductive organs to achieve arousal. He said, "We appreciate all well-meaning Nigerians, the media and the civil society for their roles while the controversy lasted. We pray for divine guidance and wisdom for our political leaders as they lead the country." Mr. Okunu noted that the merger of the two subjects had been rejected long before the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration took power, adding, "It is controversial, unlawful and ungodly." According to the cleric, the reversal is an indication that there is a listening and sensitive government that is ready to reverse unacceptable policies. He also commended the timely intervention of the National Assembly that helped to douse the tension that was generated by the policy. Okunu called on the government to direct NERDC to organize a national seminar on the new curriculum with a view to addressing all the gray areas. He urged state governments to recruit teachers for both the CRK and IRK, especially in the north where most of the states had no teachers for the subjects. NERDC.com recalls that the federal government on Thursday, July 20, bowed to pressure and directed the Nigerian Educational Research and Development Council, NERDC, to separate the Christian religious knowledge and Islamic religious knowledge subjects in the basic education curriculum. NAN reports that grouping of IRK and CRK under the civil education in the new curriculum by the NERDC had generated controversy in the last few months, with religious leaders calling for their separate teaching. The Minister of Education, Adamu, gave the directive at a meeting of Ministers of Education with education stakeholders from 6 geopolitical zones and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, in Abuja on Thursday, July 20.